Hey, how's it going? I'm Nick Gaska and welcome back to I Could Do That DIY for another doll repaint video. Today I'm going to be customizing Honey, the doll that I designed and created myself. I'm actually going to be doing two dolls today and be doing two more members of the Mystery Gang. This is another commission and I'll be making Shaggy and Velma. For reference, here's Shaggy Rogers and Velma Dinkley's original designs. Some people have very strong feelings about the remake for Velma. I thought it was alright and not as horrible as everyone made it out to be. I'll be referencing Velma's darker skin tone and using the cocoa resin. For Shaggy, I'll be using the peach. For Velma's face, the client and I decided to use a modified version of the MINX face, with a more opened eye and a more relaxed expression. For Shaggy, I'll be using the BUBS face. Off screen, I'll 3D print and prep the doll. But before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest projects. If you haven't already checked out the website, go check it out. www.thehoneydoll.com. There are a bunch of different options on the website for you to explore. You can purchase a stock honey or customize your very own. There's always new things being added to the shop, so make sure to keep an eye out. Currently, there are new faces, new hands, new magnetized hands, and new painted eyes. Go check out the website now to get your hands on them. Alright, now let's get to the project. Here's how Shaggy's face turned out after it was printed. I think it looks pretty good. I'll start by laying out the eye with the brown watercolor pencil. I'll do one side and then the other side off screen. After I do both eyes, I'll add more detail and color with watercolor pencils, pastels, and acrylic paints. Alright, awesome, that looks pretty good for Shaggy. Now let's switch gears and move on to Velma. I really love how this cocoa skin tone prints out, it's so beautiful. I'll be pretty much doing the same process on Velma that I did for Shaggy. I'll be laying out the eye with a brown watercolor pencil and adding more detail and color to the face with pastels, watercolor pencils, and acrylic paints. Once I'm all finished up with Velma's face, I'll be adding faux eyelashes to her eyes. I'll be using Kiss brand faux eyelashes in the style Shy. First I'll take them off the packaging and then peel off all the excess glue. Then I'll measure them to the doll's eye and cut them the appropriate length. Then I'll add some quick dry tacky glue to the eye and to the eyelash. Then I'll just stick on and place the eyelash. I'll do one side and then the other side. I won't be giving faux eyelashes to Shaggy, so I'll just be doing this step on Velma. Now I'll gloss the waterline and the lip. I'll be using shiny UV top coat to do this. After this is all painted on, I'll cure it with some UV light. Then I'll move on to making the wigs. I've already prepped everything I need to make the wigs. Here's a painted wig cap, and the acrylic yarns I'll be using. I'm just going to glue it on and create a shag hairstyle for Shaggy. I'll start with the bottom hairline and work my way up. I'll cut and style the hair as I go. Here's how Shaggy's wig turned out when it was all finished. I think it looks pretty good. I've also given some hazel eyes that I've made off screen. Now let's move on to making Velma's wig. The process will be very similar but with a darker brown acrylic yarn weft. And of course the hairstyle is also different. Again, I'll start at the bottom and work my way up, cutting and styling the hair as I go. Alright, I'll just finish up Velma's wig off screen, then we can move on to sewing. I'll start with Shaggy's outfit, more specifically his pants. We'll start the pants out by doing the back waist darts. Next, I'll connect the two front pieces together at the front rise. Then I'll press over the center front seam allowance and sew faux J stitch. Alright, cool. Now let's connect the two front pieces to the back at the side seams. After that, I'll hem the top waist opening and the two leg openings. Next, I'll connect the two back pieces at the back rise, but I'll leave space at the top for the Velcro closure, which I'll do off screen. Then I'll finish off the pants by sewing the inseam. I'll go from one ankle up to the crotch and then down to the other ankle. After that, we can move on to sewing the shirt. We'll be using a green jersey to sew the shirt. I'll sew the shirt on some paper to stabilize the seams. I'll start with the shoulder seam. I'll do one side and then the other side. Next, I'll hem the neckline opening and the sleeve openings. Then I'll sew the two underarm/side seams. Alright, to finish up the shirt, I'll hem the bottom opening and sew up the center back seam. Alright, cool. Now let's move on to Velma's outfit. I'll start with her pleated skirt. Here's the waistband for the skirt, and the skirt portion of it, which I've already pleated off screen. I'll hem the top portion of the waistband, then connect it to the skirt. Alright, now I'll just remove the pins, then I'll press it off screen and add the Velcro closure off screen. Now let's make some socks. I'll start by hemming the top and sewing up the back. After that, I'll make her turtleneck. I'll start by attaching the turtleneck. I'll do the same thing for the front and the back. Then I'll attach the front and the back at the shoulder seams. Alright, now let's hem the sleeve openings. Then I'll sew one underarm seam, hem the bottom opening, and then sew the other underarm seam. To finish this off, I'll just trim off the excess and turn it right side out. Now let's move on to the shoes. For Shaggy, I'll be using the sneaker feet. I'll be airbrushing them black so that the paint goes on nice and smooth. Off screen, I'll finish up these shoes by doing a matte UV top coat to protect the paint on the soles and the toe. For Velma's shoes, I'll be using my flats. Again, I'll be using my airbrush to paint them red. To finish up these shoes, I'll be doing a glossy UV top coat off screen. And with that, the dolls are complete. So here they are, here's the finished results. I couldn't be happier with how Velma and Shaggy turned out. I think they're both super adorable in their own different ways. These are the first ever pair of pants I've ever made for Honey, which is really weird to say because I've made a lot of clothing for Honey, but for some reason never pants. But yeah, first ever pair of pants. And I think Velma is just adorable. I've made these glasses before for my first ever Honey Red, and they were adorable then and they're adorable now. As you can see, I've also made Shaggy a little sandwich. Since him and Scooby are always hungry, I thought it was the perfect accessory. How do you think Shaggy and Velma turned out? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. I forgot to mention earlier, but these are actually both the little honey size. In my opinion, the little honeys are a little bit more difficult to do because they're smaller and there's more detail. I personally prefer to do the larger honeys, but since these were a commission, the customer actually wanted the little honey size. So I made them in the little honey size. Of course, I'll be doing Fred in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. For the rest of the video, enjoy the remainder of the photos. Thanks again for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!